What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Cannonballs podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Dane Cannon. Co-hosting with me today is
your boy Jake. Bulls on mic.
And guys, we got a good one for you today. We are doing our weekly power rankings episode. We do this every week after the previous week. So this will be our week 4 power rankings. This is entailing after week 3. A lot of craziness, a lot of upsets. So there's a lot of movement on the power rankings chart right now. Jake and I, we each do our own. So stay tuned for that. And then also, guys, at the end of our power rankings episode, we usually do like to do Thursday night games based off of our schedule right now with when we can record. So we'll probably include that in this one. If not, it'll be on the next episode. What do you think, Jake? Should we add it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so guys, at the end of this episode, there will be a Thursday night preview, so stick around for that if you want to know. Follow us on our Instagram here, like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on. Anything you can and do to help this channel will help us out tremendously. We'd greatly appreciate it. Jake, you have anything to add before we get going?
A lot of movement. A lot of movement. Probably the most in recent memory since we've been doing this, honestly. But I'm ready to get into it. We did a pretty good job of keeping it under an hour last time. We'll see if we can do it again.
Let's do it again.
I'll just kick it off. I think we all know who number 32 is. Chicago Bears.
Yep.
If you didn't watch the episode, our last episode, I went off on the Bears, teed off. They're garbage, man. They really are. So the Bears at 31.
At 32, I have the Bears as well. 31, we know what you meant, Jake. 31 might be a little surprising. Maybe not. I have Denver. Moving down 4 spots.
So do I.
It's just crazy. You cannot let a team score 70 points on you in the NFL. I mean, as much as, I like Sean Payton, as much as I like some of the offensive weapons, what this defense did last year, and then Vance Joseph comes over and they're supposed to replicate what they did, and then they allow 70 points. It's just unacceptable. So as much talent as this team has and as good as they should be, something's not working. Yeah, I have them at 31. It's just bad.
Yep. Ditto on everything you said. 30. I have the Las Vegas Raiders. Not impressed with them. I like Jimmy G when he was on the 49ers, but he's very limited, and it shows in Las Vegas. Yikes, man. He's just kind of making the same mistakes that he did in San Francisco. I know Devontae Adams is there, but I don't know. I don't know how much longer he'll be there. So, yeah, I got the Raiders at 30. Yep.
At 30 for me, this is where I have Carolina. I have them dropping 1 spot. I think with Andy Dalton, they did look a lot better. They were more competitive, but they still didn't piece it together entirely to win the game. It was a competitive match. We'll see what happens when Bryce Young is healthy, whether he's going to be the starter or if they decide to keep playing Andy Dalton because the offense did look a lot better. Either way, I have Carolina at 30. At 29, I have Arizona moving up 2 spots. I think Arizona has been scrappy the entire year. It's kind of weird because I think Arizona has played like a top 20 team. I think that they could be in the discussion for like maybe number 20 with some of these other teams with the way that they've been playing. They beat Dallas. They beat them handedly. And they've been in every game. They gave up a huge lead to New York. They shouldn't have done that. But even in week 1, they looked competitive. So I think we've been overlooking Arizona a little bit. I don't think they're going to make too much noise by any means, but they're going to be competitive. So Arizona moving up 2 spots to 29 for me.
29, I got the Panthers. They're not that great, but they looked a lot better with Andy Dalton. They'll probably drop once Bryce Young comes, and that's just with the territory. It's a rookie quarterback. Most rookie quarterbacks don't ball out their rookie season. I think it's way more likely for a rookie to have a bad season, or somewhat bad season. So, yeah, I got the Panthers at 29. At 28. I have the Tennessee Titans. Just not impressed with them. Their biggest weapon is kind of, looking slow. Ryan Tannehill ain't it. Yeah, this team just doesn't impress me, man. I got the Tennessee Titans.
All right, at 28 for me, I have Minnesota. I have them dropping 8 spots. This team is way more talented than an 0-3 record indicates, but they haven't put it together. I think that there's a little bit of discrepancy between Kevin O'Connell, the head coach, and Kirk Cousins. I think that there's a little bit of conflict between the two of them. I don't think it's anything too alarming, but they're not on the same page. Offense, other than Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, the running game hasn't been great. Kirk Cousins hasn't been, he's been relatively good, but this defense still isn't putting it together, and there's still just something missing. Like, I don't know what it is. I have Minnesota at 28.
All right. At 27, I have the New York Jets. And again, I did this last week. I dropped them because of Zach Wilson. I dropped them even more because of Zach Wilson, and I'm gonna keep dropping them. The more games they lose with Zach Wilson at the helm, I'm gonna drop them because this team is not good with Zach Wilson. I think they'll probably be better with any other quarterback, and it's unfortunate. But yep, I got 27. I got the Jets.
27 for me, I have Houston. I have them moving up 3 spots. That was a great win against the Jags. Competitive match, division rivalry. CJ Stroud is looking good. CJ Stroud looks like the best rookie quarterback out of this most recent draft. Tank Dell looks great. The defense is making plays when they need to. I've been thoroughly impressed with the defense. They're scrappy. Dameon Pierce getting things done on the ground. So yeah, give me Houston at 27.
All right. 26. I got the Giants. A little bit more of the same stuff. Just not impressed with that offense at all. Daniel Jones, I don't know why you spent the money on him and not Saquon, your best player. The defense looked a little bit better, but still just not impressed with the Giants. So the New York teams are plummeting. So yeah, 26, I got the Giants.
26 for me, I have the Rams. I have them just dropping 1 spot. They've been competitive in pretty much every single game that they've played. I do expect them to have a better offensive output, especially with the emergence of Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell. Kyron Williams is also balling out. And so I think this offense will be fine once Cooper Kupp comes back. I think that that'll kind of be exciting, but it'll also be kind of hard to predict where the ball's going to go because it used to be Cooper Kupp like 80% of the time, and then a couple to Tyler Higbee and a couple passes to other no-name receivers. But I think that there will be a better split once Cooper Kupp comes back than it was last year. So Rams, I think, will have a better offense once Cooper Kupp's back. So Rams at 26 for now.
At 25, I got the Texans. I know it's a little bit of a not reach, but kind of a big increase for them. I don't know if they'll keep it up, but they look good, man. And they stomped out what we think are the division leaders, what we think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a, breakout year, Calvin Ridley, blah, blah, blah. They stomped them out, and they look good doing it. So I got to give them credit where it's due. And yeah, Texans at 25.
All right, 25, this is where I have the Raiders. I have them dropping 1 spot. It's been tough, man. Other than Devontae Adams, the offense hasn't really done a whole lot. Josh Jacobs, some good plays, but not a dominant performance by any means. Max Crosby on the defense, he's like the best piece that they have. Other than that, the defense hasn't been great by any means. The pass rush is okay, but I'm just not too impressed with the Raiders. I think that they still have an opportunity to bounce back and be better than we think. But yeah, for now, Raiders at 25.
All right, at 24, this is where I have the Vikings. And I know they're 0-3. And it's just they don't know how to close games. To me, they look like Kirk Cousins is the number 1 passer or number 2 passer in the NFL. He's playing really good. He's had some bad interceptions, but it's not like he's had multiple interceptions, I believe. I still think I think this is probably one of his best starts to the season in a while. They have a lot of firepower on that offense. Addison, Jefferson, Hawkinson, Madison, if he can, ever start to get it going. And, as a fourth, they got KJ Osborne. He's a speedy wide receiver. He can catch the ball. The defense, they have some players, but it's not impressive. They just can't close it out. And for that reason, I got to have them above certain teams just because I think they can be better. They're probably like the best 0-3 team. I would say they're the best 0-3 team right now out of the four of them. But they need to get that first win because it's not looking pretty. If they lose another one, they're definitely going to drop more. But I still have hope in that offense. So I got the Vikings at, what was that, 24?
Yeah, I think so. Who'd you have at 25?
Texans.
Okay, yeah. So 24 for me. This is where I have Tampa Bay. I have them dropping just one spot. I think this defense is better than I gave them credit for. I think the offense, Baker likes himself some Mike Evans, and I'm totally okay with that. I think that they're okay, but when they went up against a really good team in the Philadelphia Eagles, they kind of got exposed a little bit. I think that they'll be fine. They still have a chance to win the division. We're still only in the first quarter of the NFL season, but I've liked what I've seen from Tampa Bay so far. Even though they're 2-1, I don't want to put them too terribly high because I want to see them play a little bit better talent, but I've liked what I've seen. So Tampa Bay at 24.
All right. At 23, I have the Commanders. Yeah, they just got stomped out. They won 2 games, but I have a hard time believing in Sam Howell so far. I'm sure they'll be fine somewhat. I don't think they're gonna do anything. I mean, this division's too stacked, and the Cowboys and the Eagles are good. I think at best they're the third best team in their division. So I think it's just kind of they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. So yep, I got the Commanders there.
23 for me. This is where I have the Giants. They've gone up against some pretty good teams, and they kind of got stomped out by the 49ers in the second half. First half, they were competitive. You saw some things that you like. Missing Saquon's definitely a huge impact to this team. So because of that, I think the Giants will be better once Saquon's back, but when is that going to be? TBD. So Giants at 23.
All right, at 22, I got the Cardinals.
Wow.
They every game they've been in, and I don't know if it was the close or it was because they were playing bad teams or whatever, but they smacked the shit out of the Cowboys, and they are a feisty team. I'll say this, the 49ers play them. If they don't show up, they could lose to the Cardinals. And that would be their Super Bowl. That would be, beating the Cowboys is probably their Super Bowl. But if they could beat the Cowboys and the 49ers back to back, that's saying something. I don't think, name-wise, I don't think they're probably up there, but I think they're a scrappy team, and I think they're going to win some games. I think they're going to win like 5 games, honestly, the way they're playing. And if they win 1 or 2 more, Kyler Murray comes back, and maybe they fight for a playoff spot. I don't know. I don't know, but I've liked what I've seen so far from the Cardinals. I think we just kind of wrote them off. So, yep, we got the Cardinals there.
All right. That is a hot take, Jake, but I love hot takes. That's a good one. I mean, I definitely will agree that they have been playing to that potential. Like, they've been in every single game, and with Kyler Murray, maybe they're fine. Michael Wilson's kind of emerging as a good rookie wide receiver, and James Conner's still getting it done. Defense playing better than expected. Mm-hmm. All right, 22 for me. This is where I have New England. I have them moving up 6 spots. They got their first win. Defensive, pretty much shutout. I'm not trying to take too much away from the defense, but it was against Zach Wilson. but the defense has been balling out all year. So defenses look great. Mac Jones is looking better than he did last year. Offense in general looks better than it did last year. I think New England will get on the right track starting maybe this week or next week. But yeah, good win for New England, moving up 6 spots.
Oh, excuse me. All right. What number are we on?
21.
21. I got the Tampa Bay Bucks. Yeah, I mean, I think they're a lot better than they're kind of like the Cardinals. We had the Cardinals and the Bucks, 32 and 31 at the beginning of the season. I don't think Baker played his best game this last week, but it's better than what I've seen in Carolina, his last couple games in Cleveland. I like what I see from him so far. So I think if he can, come back from this loss, I think he's got a grittiness that can help this team win some games. So yeah, Bucks at 21.
All right, I like it. 21 for me, I have Tennessee. It was an ugly loss to Cleveland, but Cleveland has one of the better defenses in the entirety of the NFL this year. But come on, man, you got to score more than 3 points. We've already talked about Derrick Henry kind of looking like he's lost a step. Maybe we don't want to put too much into that. Snow's right around the corner in like a month or two. So the Yeti will come out and hopefully he's ready to play. Tajay Spears, though, I think is a bright spot of the future for the running game in Tennessee. And the Tennessee defense is still borderline elite on that defensive front. Like that defensive front is legit. So there's still some things that they can do. They definitely got to figure out the offense a little bit because you're not going to play the Chargers weak defense every single week. So Tennessee at 21. Moving down 4 spots.
All right.
20.
20. I got the Colts.
I got the Colts at 20 as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're 2-1, right? 2-1?
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. And they just beat I mean, granted, they were a hurt team, but they're in first place in that division right now, in their division. The defense has impressed me a lot. We talked about earlier, the offensive line has impressed me a lot. And like I said, if they can win with Gardner Minshew, imagine what they can do with Anthony Richardson. I think, and maybe Jonathan Taylor comes back and they mend that relationship, and they just have. I mean, Zach Moss has been balling out these last couple games, so I don't know if they necessarily need him, but yeah, no, I like what I've seen from the Colts. I wish it was here last year, but I'll take it. So 20, I got the Colts.
Same here, pretty much for every reason that you already stated. 19, this is where I have the Jets. I have them dropping 10 spots in my power rankings. Oh, man. If only they had a quarterback, this team would be still top 10. I mean, this defense is too good to just piss away the season, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're pissing away the season. There's a little bit of internal turmoil going on right now with head coach Robert Saleh, the players kind of losing them in the locker room by not benching Zach Wilson. It's a tough predicament to be in for Saleh. It is a tough predicament to be in. But yeah, the Jets still have an elite defense. Offense with Zach Wilson is atrocious. It's just nothing else to say. So yeah, Jets at 19 for me. Who do you got?
All right. 19. I got the Rams. I kind of had a feeling in the offseason. I think they were going to be better than we thought. They're going to play some teams very good and beat some of them. And they're kind of showing that. It wasn't a very great game against the Bengals. I think they could have tried. They might have had a chance to win. Probably not, though. But they played the 49ers really good, and they smacked the shit out of the Seahawks. And the Seahawks are in our top 10. So, and, Cooper Kupp's coming back next week or after this week. So, most likely. So, if they have Tutu, Cooper Kupp, Puka, man, that's some fast wide receivers. I like what I've seen from the wide receivers. I still don't like the turnovers from Stafford. I know, granted, a lot of them are not from him, but maybe it's the way he's throwing the ball. I don't know. It just seems to happen every game. But yeah, I think they could play upset against a lot of teams.
All right. 18 for me. I have Washington. I have them dropping 3 spots. It was an atrocious loss to Buffalo. They completely got outmatched, outplayed. I liked what I've seen from Sam Howell the previous 2 weeks. Not so much this week. 4 interceptions. That's costly. I think that, as basically a rookie quarterback, you're going to go through your ups and downs. You're going to go through your highs and lows. And this is one of those lows. I think that they have the potential to bounce back. I think the defense has the potential to be better. And I think the offense just has the potential to be better in general. But yeah, really bad loss. So drop in 3 spots, 18.
All right. I'm on 18 as well.
Correct.
Sorry, I didn't number mine. At 18, I have the Patriots. Nothing too overly impressive, except for that defense. That defense is legit. If I had to rank the best defenses, man, it'd be hard. It would be hard because I'd probably do 49ers, Eagles, Browns, Patriots, and Jets. Yeah. I can't think of a better defense than the Patriots right now. I just named 4, but I would probably put them up in the top 4 right now. As of now, they look really good. Maybe the Steelers.
If we scratch this most recent week, Dallas would still be up there. But after losing the way they did to Arizona, this defense has to come back with a vengeance before we're willing to put them back in the top 5, because that was bad. That was bad.
That was terrible. But the Patriots, they're probably going to be a 7-8 win team still. I'm not impressed from what I've seen from Mac Jones. I think he does just enough so they can win by the hairs of their chinny chin chin. But maybe that's the brand of football they're trying to play. I don't know. But I got the Patriots at 19.
18, I think.
18. Sorry.
I think
I should have numbered these.
It's all good. At 17 for me, this is where I have my boys, the Chargers. I have them moving up 4 spots. This is one of those games where it could have gone either way. They could have lost, they could have won. It was just who was going to fail to clutch up at the end, and apparently it's the Vikings. Justin Herbert finally got on track for what I'm used to seeing. This was one of his more elite games, processed the field well, threw the ball extremely well, other than one turnover-worthy play, which should have been an interception. But hey, Vikings, I'll take it. So yeah, Chargers at 17.
All right, at 17, I got the Saints. You know what? This is a good defense too. It'd be easier to do top 10 defenses. This is a top 10 defense. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I had to drop them for a couple reasons. 1, they lost. And 2, I don't know what this team's going to look like with Jameis. I like Jameis. I'm a Jameis fan. I think he's a cool dude. I think he has his moments where he's plays good quarterback. But I also have seen Jameis since he's been in the league, and he throws a lot of interceptions. Can this team rally behind him? Maybe. I mean, they're getting Alvin Kamara back this week, actually. And, Michael Thomas has stayed healthy. They got
Chris
the Swiss
Olave.
Army. Chris Olave is a beast.
Rashid Shaheed returning punts for touchdowns, deep threat.
This team has weapons for sure. It's just questions of the quarterback. That's why why I have to put him here.
Is that all you have to say? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. So Saints for you at 17. 16 for me, I have the Jags. I have them moving down 7 spots.
So do I.
Nice. Yeah, that was an atrocious loss. They've looked bad the last 2 weeks. They looked terrible against the Chiefs, and then they looked terrible against the Texans.
They didn't even look that great against the Colts, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Jags got to figure some things out. I know they had a slow start to the season last year, ended up making the playoffs, ended up winning against my boys, but they got to figure some things out. I have them dropping 7 spots. Not too much to hang your hat on right now.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing as you. It's just they need to play better. They have the potential. They have so many pieces on that defense, which that could be a top 10 defense too. How many good players they have, and Trevor Lawrence. This is supposed to be your breakout year. maybe it's delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
I hope you. I've been a Trevor Lawrence fan forever, since college, and I want him to do good, but it just does not look pretty, especially the last 2 weeks. At 15, that was 16, right, Dane?
Yeah, that was 16 for the Jags. Yeah.
All right, at 15, I got the Atlanta Falcons. This is an elite running game, and they have weapons. And the defense has been playing pretty good. They're making plays here and there. The quarterback situation, it's if I see more of this, I'm gonna have to drop the Falcons again because it's gonna be the same shit like last year. They started out 3-0, I believe, last year, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they started out 2-1, but the same thing. They had an elite run game and then shit quarterback play. So your run game can only take you as far as it can take you. So, you're going to have to throw the ball. Atlanta Falcons, 16.
15.
15. Jesus. I am sorry, guys. I just wrote this down. I didn't write the numbers. I had very much difficulties writing my power rankings. There's a lot of movement, and it flustered me. So bear with me.
All right, 15 for me. I have the Cincinnati Bengals. Still not a great offensive performance. I think when Joe Burrow is healthy, this offense will be fine. It'll look how it did the previous years. The defense stepped up against the Rams. I think that they carry some momentum. Hopefully Joe Burrow can get that leg feeling somewhat better, that calf strain that keeps lingering on. But yeah, other than that, Cincinnati moving up 4 spots to 15 for me.
All right. 14.
Yes.
I have the Green Bay Packers. Good win. Close win. I've seen things. I mean, the defense is good. This could be a top 10 defense too. Shit. We might have to make a list just on our own.
Yeah.
But Jordan Love, I've seen good things from him, and I've seen some not good things at all. I want more consistency. I think this team could win the division. I don't know. It's the Detroit Lions and probably them. Definitely not the Bears. I'm not losing that bet, Dane.
Yeah.
The Vikings could go on a roll with how much offensive firepower they have, but it's between the Lions and the Packers, in my opinion. And if he can't string together, multiple consistent games, then they're not gonna have a chance. But I mean, they won, so and hopefully they'll get Aaron Jones back. I don't know, but yeah, I got the Packers at 14.
All right, 14 for me. I have the Atlanta Falcons, so I'm just 1 spot higher than you. Like you already touched on, this run game is deadly. Quarterback play is holding them back. Arthur Smith's scheme is not designed to be a heavily passing offense, but the defense has been playing better than expected. I like what I've seen from Atlanta, so I have them at 14.
All right, 13. I got the Steelers.
We're like right around the same ballpark with all these recent ones.
Hell yeah. Steelers defense is legit, man. I mean, I know they had the bad game against the 49ers. That's the 49ers. They've looked good the last couple weeks. And the Steelers, TJ Watt, I think we kind of disrespected TJ Watt a little bit too. Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, they're both elite pass rushers. I mean, I believe TJ Watt won the Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, and Myles Garrett won it 3 years ago, I believe. Or it might be the other way around. But besides TJ Watt on the defense, they have players all over the defense. They have players all over the offense. Kenny Pickett has been playing better. I'll say that. I want to see a little bit more. But they look good so far. So Steelers at 13.
All right, 13 for me. This is where I have Green Bay. I have them moving up 5 spots. It was a great comeback win. Granted, it was against the New Orleans Saints, who did lose Derek Carr in the third quarter of the game. But Even with Derek Carr in there, you can't assume that the Saints would have pulled it off. The defense for Green Bay definitely came to play in the later.
Do.
Yeah, you can assume, but like you shouldn't. But like Green Bay's defense came to play near the end of the game. I liked what I saw, but like what Jake said, like I've seen good things from Jordan Love. Like I think that he's a competent NFL quarterback. But it's like with as well as he's done, like there are some plays where I would like to see better consistency, like Jake says. So I think Green Bay has themselves a defense. I think they have offensive weapons. Christian Watson is expected to return this week, and they play Thursday night. So hopefully that helps them out a little bit. But we will see. Green Bay at 13.
If you're the Jets, do you trade for Jordan Love?
There's no way Green Bay is doing that.
All right, at 12, I have the Chargers. Back in playoff spots. It wasn't a pretty win, but Justin Herbert's that dude, man. Like Justin Herbert is legit. Like he's looking better than Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow. He's having to do more because Eckler's not there. I'll say when Eckler is back on the field, I think this team will go back to its more borderline elite level. The defense, I want to see them step up. They stepped up a little bit against the Vikings. Still giving up too much yards. But they do make plays. It's like the Chiefs. They make plays when they need to make plays. And the Chargers did that last week. Keep it going. Because it's like bend but don't break. So really I could rank the Chargers lower, but they got that dude on there as the quarterback. So, yeah, Chargers at 12.
All right, 12 for me. This is where I have Pittsburgh. I have them moving up 4 spots. This defense is just balling out of control. Kenny Pickett's looked better. Deep bomb to Calvin Austin, who I was really high on coming out of Memphis. I liked what I see with that. He's like, what the fuck? He's a 4.3 speed guy. George Pickens is looking good. Jaylen Warren, even though he's not getting the touches that Najee is, he looks better when he gets the opportunities. I don't know what it is. I think Pittsburgh's in a good spot.
At football.
Yeah, he's good at football. Mike Tomlin's a hell of a coach.
Harris isn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to say Najee Harris isn't, but he just has not looked good. He has not looked good recently, but I like what I see from Pittsburgh's defense. I think that they keep it up. So Pittsburgh at 12.
All right, at 11, I got the Bengals. Yeah, man, the Bengals haven't looked good. They haven't looked elite. And, Joe Burrow just got paid, but they have not. I mean, they got their first win. Woohoo! 1-2. I know it's the beginning of the season. There's still a lot of time to correct these issues. But Joe Burrow is dealing with injury. T. Higgins has just got hands made out of fucking bricks, dog. And bricks covered in butter. Jamar Chase he's elite. He's a top 5 wide receiver. So they just need to fix it, man. The defense has actually been playing good though. Like, when I talk about the Bengals, I don't really talk about their defense. It's always about the offense, but I think the defense has been playing better than the offense. So,
agreed.
Yeah, I got the Bengals at 11. They need to step up, though.
At 11 for me, this is where I have New Orleans. I have them dropping 3 spots. This defense is very, very good. Losing Derek Carr, I think, will hinder this offense a little bit. By how much, I don't know. Jameis Winston, he may have a bunch of turnovers, but he may also have more big-time plays, just throwing and yeeting that ball down the field 50, 60 yards, just praying that one of his receivers catches it. I think New Orleans defense can carry Jameis to a victory, and I think that he can do enough offensively to score some points. So it should be exciting. I'm not too concerned about New Orleans, but yeah, I have them dropping a little bit after that loss to Green Bay.
What are we on, 11?
10.
10. I got the Ravens. Ugly loss. They dropped a couple. I think they dropped 5 spots for me. But man, they need to get healthy. They need to get healthy. And I think you covered it in our last episode. Like Lamar has not really made steps forward in the passing game. He's an elite runner. He is an elite runner, and he can sometimes throw it down the field and, make a good throw. But I don't know. It's just like it doesn't look good at times. And the wide receivers, yeah. Zay Flowers is cool though. But other than that, So and he just lost to the Colts. So
yeah,
Ravens
I'm kind of at 10. I'm kind of in a similar boat. Number 10 for me, this is where I have Detroit. I have them moving up 4 spots. Defense actually performed a lot better than I was going to give them credit for against the Atlanta Falcons, who are an elite rushing game. Jared Goff, he's been playing pretty well. Sam Laporta stepping up in a big time way. Jahmyr Gibbs is having to step up. Amon-Ra is that dude. Reynolds, pretty good. But the defense, I think, was the storyline of this game against the Falcons. I liked what I saw. Hopefully they can carry that momentum with them. But yeah, Detroit is playing like a top 10 unit this year. I'm excited for them. I'm happy for them. I've been rooting for Detroit all offseason. So yeah, Detroit at number 10.
Number 10, I have the Browns. Elite defense. Holy shit. That defense is legit. And Jerome Ford, he was kind of able to pick up where Nick Chubb left. Nick Chubb is a difference maker, but I think Jerome Ford is going to do just fine behind that offensive line. And Deshaun Watson had his best game as a Brown. Hopefully he can build off of it because, so far his tenure in Cleveland has not looked hot. But I just every time I talk about Deshaun, I always think about Houston Texans Deshaun and how legit he was. Like he was so fucking good in Houston, and it's so weird to believe how bad he is in Cleveland. Like he's just overthrowing it everywhere. I don't know. Yeah. I still have hope for him. So yeah, I got the Browns at
9.
Sorry.
Good. 9 for me. This is where I have Seattle. I have Seattle moving up 4 spots as well. Their offense has been looking a lot better, especially after that bad loss to the Rams. Offense has been picking it up. This running game is really good as well. Kenneth Walker is one of the better running backs in the NFL, in my opinion. I think the defense can step it up a little bit more. Their pass rush hasn't been great. Their secondary hasn't been great. Been giving up quite a few points, but Pete Carroll, got the run game going. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, they can make some big plays. Still kind of waiting on the Jackson Smith and Jigba breakout game. He is a rookie. I think that Geno Smith has better rapport with the 2 previously noted wide receivers. And because of that, they'll probably get the rock a lot more. But Seattle, they've been playing a lot better since the loss. So yeah, Seattle at 9.
All right. At 8, this is where I have the Detroit Lions. We knew this offense had firepower. We knew the offensive line was legit. But that defense impressed me, my boy. I'm not going to say this is a top 10 unit, but I was very impressed with how they locked up the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have ran over better teams than the Lions and ran for a lot more yards. And the Lions were able to shut that up. Aiden Hutchinson is having, he's just continuing off of what he did last year. So I like the Lions. I would have no problem rooting for them if the 49ers just somehow fell off a cliff. But yeah, I got the Lions at 8.
At 8 for me, this is where I have Baltimore. Bad loss to the Colts. They're dealing with injuries. We'll kind of see if they're able to rebound. I would like to see Lamar Jackson perform a little bit better as a passer, maybe utilize his legs a little bit more. But yeah, Baltimore's defense is still really good, even with injuries on that side of the ball as well. So because of that, Baltimore only moving down 2 spots to 8.
All right. At 7. Lucky number 7. I got the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith's playing a lot better. The first game was very ugly, but the last 2 games, offense looks good. The Kenneth Walker is, I said it in our last episode, he's even though he's a Seahawk, he's one of my favorite players to watch. He's legit. Zach Charbonnet is a very thunder to the lightning. And, DK Metcalf, I have my issues with him, but he's still an elite wide receiver. Tyler Lockett, up there in age, he's still a great wide receiver. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, we both agreed he was our number one wide receiver. I'm also waiting for it. When this team gets all three of them going at the same time, it might be scary. And plus that run game. My only issue with the Seahawks is they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now, and it's all to the offensive line. I want to see what happens when they face an elite defense. That will be interesting. But yeah, I got the Seahawks at 7.
At 7 for me, this is where I have Dallas. This was my second ranked team. It could be a one-off, but I dropped you guys 5 spots because you lost to arguably one of the worst teams in the NFL roster-wise. Apparently, they're playing a lot better than expected, but still, you got manhandled by the Arizona Cardinals. The defense didn't come to play. Dak didn't come to play. Tony Pollard was pretty much the only player, in my opinion, who came to play. CeeDee Lamb had a couple of good plays here and there, but yeah, it was not a good-looking performance by any means. Arizona's not that far from Texas. The travel wasn't egregious by any means, but they played egregiously. It just was not there. Dallas at 7.
At 6, that's where I have the Cowboys. Pathetic loss. Again, this is what happens every year with the Cowboys. Beat bad teams, beat up on bad teams. Super Bowl year. And then they get fucking smoked by some team. I don't think this is the mean or whatever. I think they'll be fine, honestly. I think they'll be a playoff team for sure. I think this is still one of my favorite defenses. It took a hit with the loss of Trayvon Diggs. But I still think they're legit. My biggest issue with the Cowboys is Dak Prescott, to be honest. And as long as they don't have to
Tony Romo 2.0.
But the thing is, Tony Romo was actually good. I don't think Dak's good. I think he had his rookie year. He had his rookie year where he went to the playoffs, and ever since then, nothing super special to me. I personally like Tony Romo way better than Dak Prescott. But I think they'll be fine. But I just had to drop them because they lost terribly to the Arizona Cardinals.
All right. At 6 for me, kind of a big jump for me. I have Cleveland. I have them moving up 6 spots. I really like what I'm seeing from this defense. Like, this defense is catapulting them into borderline top 5 teams for me. They're at number 6.
Holy crap.
I do want to see Deshaun Watson play better, but Amari Cooper's look great. Jerome Ford, I think, can step in, try and fill in some of that, missing offensive piece from Nick Chubb's injury. They did sign Kareem Hunt, who may get some touches. He is probably washed, but he may get some touches. I mean, he looked good as a backup when he did get touches. He just never got the ball. But I really like what I'm seeing from Cleveland. I do want to see Deshaun Watson, even though statistically he's looked a lot better, he just hasn't looked pretty to the eye. And I want to see that like old Deshaun Watson, like spiral, the velocity, the location, everything back on track. Statistically, he's doing better, but I still need to see some things. But with this defense, backing him up, I think that they can make some noise. So yeah, Cleveland at 6 for me.
Wow, pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Number
6.
5. Who was your 6? I thought you already did 6.
Did I say the Cowboys already?
Yeah.
My fault. All right, number 5. I got the Buffalo Bills.
I have them at 5 as well.
Yeah, I mean they beat up on a mediocre team. Not gonna move them past other teams because they beat up on a mediocre team. But I think they're kind of going back to what they're good at, and it's kind of the old Buffalo Bills that we know and love. So way to get back on track. But I still think there's just 4 more teams that are better than you as of now.
Yep. I think, touch on it. Buffalo Bills, when they're healthier, defense looks great. Offense obviously has playmakers everywhere. Josh Allen, he can either be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL or he could just have an off day. He's been looking good recently. So Buffalo at 5. At number 4 for me, this is where I have Philadelphia. Even though they won, I have not been impressed with Jalen Hurts and the passing attack. And because of the way that the other teams performed and have looked, I kind of move them above them. You know, I rarely, if ever, move a team down based off of a win. I think Philadelphia has top 3 defense. I think their offense, the ground game looks elite. The offensive line looks elite. I just need to see the passing attack look better. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like what it was last year. The passing attack last year was deadly, and I haven't seen that. And so I just have Philadelphia moving down 1 spot, even though they're 3-0, to number 4.
And number 4 is where I have the Chiefs. They beat up on the Bears. They beat up on the Bears. You know, they didn't look hot last week. Week 2, they lost week 1. They beat up on the Bears. I'm not taking anything away from this game. Yeah, they have the best quarterback picking apart a dumpster fire of a team. Not going to move them up because of it. All right. I think they'll be fine, honestly. Like, they're always fine. They're the Chiefs. I'm still not convinced that these wide receivers are going to help Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. It's TBD for me still. But yeah, I got the Chiefs at 4.
At 3, this is where I have the Chiefs. The only reason I move them ahead of the Eagles is because Taylor Swift is now. No, I'm just kidding, man. It's the Chiefs, even though it was the Bears. I just think that if Patrick Mahomes can get this wide receiving core like firing on all cylinders, they have the best quarterback in the NFL. And I think that Patrick Mahomes catapults himself over Jalen Hurts. Did it in the Super Bowl. I think the Eagles probably should have won it, but there's just a different level of quarterback play when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. He makes things happen that no other quarterback can make happen. I think the Chiefs defense, though, has been looking really good, surprisingly. Steve Spagnuolo has this defense looking pretty damn good. And with Chris Jones back out there, this rush attack has looked deadly. I love Nick Bolton as much as I hate him at the same time. He's just so good. And yeah, dude, I think the Chiefs are playing well. Even though it was the Bears, you put up 41-10. It's still saying something. So yeah, Chiefs at 3.
All right. At 3, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. And I will agree with you. I have not been impressed with Jalen Hurts throwing the ball. What I have been impressed with is that offensive line, that running attack, and that defense. I think the defense took a little bit of a step back from last year, but that D line is still legit. The linebackers, you know, they're playing with like rookies and like older players, and then the secondary took a little bit of a hit. You know, they still have ballers on all sides of the ball, but you know, I want to see the Philadelphia play like a dominant game. And then I need Jalen Hurts to step up, man. I mean, I know they're winning, but you know, anybody can see he's not the same as last year. Like, he was slinging the ball last year. And I don't know if it's teams kind of figuring him out. But
it's not. It's also him not even utilizing his legs the same way. Like, he's not trying to break runs like he did before he got his contract. So maybe he's just playing it a little bit safer, trying to keep the money safe. I think that could be a factor.
Yeah,
somewhat.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure he'll be fine. I do like Jalen Hurts, even though he's on the Eagles. But you know, the Eagles will be fine. Like, they're gonna win. You know, regardless. I think even if Jalen Hurts has a bad game, they'll probably still find a way to win, because they'll take it out of his hands and run the ball 30 times with DeAndre Swift, and you know, have 3 semi-truck wide holes open. So Eagles at 3.
That means we both have the same number 2, finally. I was lower on the Dolphins for quite some time, but I catapulted them to my number 2 spot. You cannot put up 70 points in the NFL and not get increased. This offense is probably the best offense I've seen in quite some time. And that was even without Jalen Waddle. But let's recap. You have Devon Achane, who runs a 4.3 40. You have Raheem Mostert, who runs a 4.340, and then you have 2.4.240 wide receivers in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. That is insane. Having 4 guys on the same team, all starters or like rotational pieces with Devon Achane, who run under a 4.440, that is absolutely ludicrous. Tua got the full sleeve. He's slinging the rock right now.
Mm-hmm.
Took some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, trying to prevent himself from getting any concussions. Dude, this offense is deadly. I think the defense can still improve in certain aspects, but this offensive team is just going to put up yards on anyone.
Yeah. Anytime you put up 70 on a team, I mean, you got to be catapulted up. I mean, they were my number 3, so really not huge catapult. They moved up 1, but just complete offensive firepower. It's deadly, man. And talk about the running backs. I mean, they have Jeff Wilson still on the IR. Like, he's going to come back. If they find like a healthy rotation for all these running backs, they're going to keep Raheem healthy. They're going to keep, because Achane is, a smaller running back. But if they don't give him the bulk of the carries, he's going to have 15 times, 10 times to go run. Just run full speed. It's going to be a fresh legs after fresh legs after fresh legs. And, if they want to throw it, they can. This team is legit. I love Coach Mike McDaniel as a coach. He's very innovative. He's super cool. But
he's probably the funniest head coach in the NFL by far.
Yeah. Dolphins are. I said at the beginning. Dark horse Super Bowl. I don't think they're a dark horse anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think that they might be one of the betting favorites at this point.
They have to prove us wrong, and they have to stay healthy. Yes. This is the same story from last year. It was the same thing. They were freaking out of this world for the first, 6 games? And then boom, the injuries hit. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't want that to happen, but they have to stay healthy. Or, majority of the players healthy. And we already have one injury, Jalen Waddle.
He should be coming back, though. He was just in concussion protocol. So not a severe injury, but head injuries always are, you want to be cautious with.
Yep. And so that means our number 1 did not change. It could have been, we could have easily put the Dolphins. I don't think easily. We could have, just from that explosive. But the thing is, I think the 49ers are still overall more balanced, more dominant on both sides of the ball. They're dominant on offense, dominant on defense, dominant on special teams, dominant in coaching. They're just all phases of the game. They are dominant. They are in win now mode, and I think they're going to hit a different level this year. This is my Super Bowl favorite, my team. I think they're just going to hit on a different level this year. And I think it's showing right now, especially I think Brock Purdy might be the best quarterback we've had in a while. Like, this guy's legit, man. If you guys haven't, go watch JT O'Sullivan's quarterback school and watch the video he does on Brock Purdy. He's not huge. He's not super quick. He does have some athletic ability. He doesn't have a giant arm, but his superpower is the way he reads defenses and his decisiveness. The way he reads a defense is in half a second, and he has anticipation with throwing the ball, and boom, and he's accurate. He's accurate in the short game, or short to mid game. The deep game might use a little work, but you know what? Higher percentage passes the short and mid game, so I'll take it. And when you have the Yak Bros on your team, you don't really need to throw it deep. But yeah, 49ers at 1. You got anything to say?
Nope, you touched on everything. This defense is legit, offense is legit. So guys, that is going to do it for our power rankings. But really quick, don't leave yet. We still have Thursday night predictions. So, boy, wait, there's more. All right, guys.
Have you seen that? Real quick to talk about baseball. Have you seen that Mookie Betts video?
Yeah.
He's like, ooh, I like this.
Dude, some of the things Mookie does are a little bit questionable, but
Suspect, tell me.
I digress.
All right, let's get into the Thursday night game.
This is a good one.
It honestly, it is. Detroit Lions traveling to the Green Bay Packers. Last time Detroit was in Green Bay, they kissed. What'd they do?
Gave him the kiss of death. How about that?
Yeah,
Took him out of the playoff picture.
Yeah, took him out of the playoff picture. I can't talk right now. Shoot. So both teams are coming off good wins, man.
Both are 2-1 as well.
Yep, and I think they could split the way they're kind of playing. My heart wants to say Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
But my head is saying the Packers only for a couple of reasons. That defense is good. The defense is good. Home field advantage. But it's not probably too terribly cold. What's the weather looking like? Did you say it?
I'll look it up for you.
64 degrees. So it's it's not
64
warm.
degrees.
It's not warm by any means.
But you know those East Coast teams, they're used to freezing temperatures. This is like a freaking summer day for them.
Yeah. Shoot, man. This one's hard.
This one's really hard. And this is also a very interesting game because this is the game that Christian Watson should be expected back to make his NFL debut in 2023. That gives Jordan Love a little bit more firepower, a little bit more speed, as long as Christian Watson is completely healthy and recovered. I don't know if Aaron Jones is going to be back. If it's A.J. Dillon still, A.J. Dillon has been not it. He's like a Joshua Kelly. He's not it, guy.
He's not that guy, pal. He's not that guy.
He's not that guy. But Jordan Love's been doing well. I mean, he's thrown 7 touchdowns to 1 interception. I don't think that they're asking him to do too terribly much. I think the defense is kind of carrying him to certain levels, but Jordan Love's look good. We just want to see more consistency. I mean, his completion percentage is only at 53%. You kind of want to see that be a little bit higher. Oh man, this one is tough because I really like what I'm seeing from Jared Goff. I think the Lions have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Sam Laporta is kind of emerging as one of the better tight ends in this year's draft. Still got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, if they utilize him correctly, Josh Reynolds.
Real quick, remember when we did our draft analysis and we said the Lions stole Laporta? That was like one of our favorite picks from the Lions. It's showing. He's looking like the best rookie tight end.
He is.
And it's funny because Michael Mayer has barely seen the field, and Dalton Kincaid has like 50 yards receiving to his name.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sam Laporta looking really good. I think this one's going to be a nail biter. I think this is going to be like a deciding factor of maybe a point or two, maybe a field goal. I'm going to go Lions. I think this game could go either way. But if Detroit Lions, if they play defensively how they did this last week against Atlanta, I think that catapults them into the victory. I think Jared Goff can do enough. I think the Green Bay defense is great. Don't get me wrong. But I also think the Detroit Lions have a much better offensive line than the New Orleans Saints did and any other offensive line than Green Bay has seen so far. So because of that, I think that they can get enough done offensively as well, give Jared Goff enough time. Give me the Lions in a nail biter.
Was CJ Gardner-Johnson hurt in the Falcons game, or was he hurt already?
Oh, God. I want to say he was hurt already. Yeah, I think he was hurt already.
Yeah. Damn, dude. This one is hard. I might be overthinking this one. My heart says the better team is the Lions, which is weird to say. Shit, man. I mean, the Packers
fans are probably going to be going freaking nuts because this is the team that took them out of the playoffs last year. Again, it's not with Aaron Rodgers this year, but yeah, I mean, Lambeau's probably going to be rocking. I'll give them that.
You know what? I'm going to go Lions as well.
Hell yeah.
The Packers barely won against the Saints. Jordan Love didn't look good for three and a half quarters. So he did pull out the win, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go Lions. I think that's a smarter bet right here.
All right. Well, guys, that is going to do it for our Power Rankings episode. Don't pay attention to Jake's bottom screen because it still says week 3 reactions, but that's all good. I just realized that.
God damn it, dude.
Guys, you can follow us.
Bro.
You can follow us here on our Instagram. Like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on. Jake, close us out, man.
Hold up. Wait, well, let's just fix this before.
You should just do the next episode we're about to record, week 4 predictions.
Hold on, guys. Just stay for the episode. We're going to get it right. Dude.
No one's listening at this point.
Yeah. I think our average view is 5 minutes. There we go. There we go, Dane. All right. Thanks for listening. And as always, peace.
Oh, my God.
Oh, bro.
Fuck, man.
Are we just pathetic?
Pretty much.